A storm is about to rise in the Brazil squad. But is it a storm for their opponents, France and Croatia, or one within their own team selection? The biggest question right now is simple. If Neymar Jr. returns to the squad, where does Raphinha play? On the bench or in the starting 11? And if he starts, who makes way for him? In today's analysis, we'll clearly break down what the possible lineup could look like, which positions are almost certain, and where the coach faces his biggest dilemma. So watch closely until the end. You'll have a much clearer picture yourself. 2 days ago, I discussed Brazil's possible starting 11, suggesting a 4-2-3-1 formation with 4 attackers up front. Brazil traditionally plays wing-based football and to field 2 wingers, 1 attacking midfielder, and 1 center forward together. There aren't many realistic alternatives to the 4-2-3-1. In this system, a double pivot in midfield is essential, usually 2 defensive or box-to-box midfielders. For a long time, we've seen Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes take on that responsibility. That leaves only 4 spots in attack, and that's where the real calculation begins. Let's start with the right wing. I had placed Estêvão Willian in that position. Many questioned why Estevao over Raphinha. The answer lies in performance and the coach's trust. In recent matches, Estevao has shown confidence and effectiveness that are hard to ignore. 5 goals in his last 6 matches, including goals in 2 consecutive games. Can you really bench a player in that kind of form? Moreover, Coach Carlo Ancelotti has publicly spoken positively about him. So for now, the right wing spot seems almost secured. On the left wing, there's hardly any debate. Vinícius Júnior is one of Brazil's most dangerous attacking weapons. His pace, dribbling, and one-on-one ability make it unrealistic to even consider leaving him out. So both wings are practically set, Estevao on the right, Vinicius on the left. Now let's move to the center of attack. If Neymar returns to the squad, where does he play? The reality is that if Neymar is included, it's almost impossible to leave him out of the starting 11. He can operate as an attacking midfielder or even as a false 9. His creativity, control of tempo, and final pass make him unique. So if Neymar is available, the attacking midfield role is almost certainly his. That would leave the traditional center forward role to be contested between João Pedro and Matheus Cunha. Based on form, João Pedro could have the edge. He's effective inside the box, sharp in finishing, and intelligent with his off-the-ball movement. If the coach wants a proper number 9, João Pedro seems the more likely choice. Now comes the big question. Where does Raphinha fit? With Estevao on the right, Vinicius on the left, Neymar in attacking midfield, and a traditional striker up front, there's no obvious space left for Raphinha. Does that mean he has to sit on the bench? One alternative could be Neymar playing as a false 9, with Raphinha taking the attacking midfield role. In that case, João Pedro might miss out. But if the coach decides to keep a proper center forward, playing Neymar in his natural position, and still wants Raphinha in the starting 11, then the only solution would be to bench Estevao. However, considering Estevao's current form and the coach's trust in him, how realistic is that? Another name that comes into the discussion is Rodrygo. He's versatile, comfortable on the left wing, right wing, or even as a false 9. That flexibility makes the coach's concern about him comparatively smaller. But Raphinha is most effective in a specific role, which makes finding space for him a genuine good problem for the coach. Putting everything together, the picture becomes clear. If Neymar doesn't return, Raphinha walks straight into the starting 11. But if Neymar does come back, the equation changes. Raphinha would either need to adapt to a new tactical role or potentially come off the bench as an impact substitute. For a player in top form, that's undoubtedly a tough reality. So what do you think should happen? If Neymar returns, should Raphinha be benched? Or should the tactics change to accommodate both? Share your analysis and reasoning in the comments. The debate over Brazil's possible starting 11 is far from over. This may well be the biggest tactical battle ahead of the next match. See you in the next analysis. Until then, stay passionate about football and stay excited.